Hello everyone and welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22 the Rangers podcast, and yes, this is a punters Q&A special to fill the void of the international break. Well, for three of us anyway. Scotia's rather excited about his weekend coming up. I am Scott Carney and joining me is Ali Pearson. How are you, mate?
Very well. The weekend is upon us, but Rangers aren't. I know we've got the Legends game. Scotia's excited because he's got his beloved Scotland tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Scotia. So I'm working tomorrow, so unfortunately I won't be able to watch the game.
Oh, that's a shame. Scott Gilmour, how are you, mate?
I am doing well. No, I'm looking forward, like you say, to the game tomorrow. But this international break's been strange because all the games are kind of on Viaplay. I only managed to see the Italy-England game last night. I have not seen any other football because it's on Viaplay and I don't have it. So maybe not the best international break that I've ever experienced. Hopefully that'll change tomorrow, though.
I've said it a million times. I wish I cared, but I just don't. Honestly, I just don't care. Ryan Haymarch, how are you, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. International week, morning Cyprus. That's all I've got to say about that. Had a good week this week. I got a wee letter in from Rangers Charity Foundation. Obviously doing a fundraiser for my son's. I'm not doing it. It's a club. I'm doing a fundraiser for my son's football team because they're going to Newcastle for a tournament. I'll be quick with this one. They were very kindly sent through a letter with a signed photograph of Rabbi Matondo. So thank you, Rangers Charity Foundation. Appreciated. And the fundraiser is on the 9th if anyone wants to buy a raffle ticket.
Mate, I think you'll sell out of raffle tickets, mate, to get a hold of that picture. Absolutely brilliant, honestly, absolutely brilliant. Top bants.
Top trolling. I was going to say before I come on, lads, I was speaking to Stu at work and I was telling him about Ryan's signed photo of Rabbi Matondo. He was extremely jealous, but he told me a quick story that his son Mark was getting married and his fiancée Katie wrote to Rangers to get a thing for Tav to say congratulations getting married, signed James Tavernier. So she got it back and Tav had signed it, went congratulations getting married, but he called him Robert instead of Mark. So it went to Robert.
God. Oh God, that's a gutter. Yeah. That's a gutter. Oh, that's a real shit. But nothing will beat the Rabbi Matondo signed picture, mate. Absolutely nothing.
$5 ticket, there's a plug.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. So tonight it is a punters Q&A. There's a number of questions we've got to get through. There's a few that's came in on the post that I put up, and there's a few elsewhere some people have sent me. So again, put your questions in the comments. I'll do my best to try and keep track of them all. And Ali will probably try to help me out. Ali, I don't know. This is going to be very professional. We should have done this before we started. See the side. Can you star the comments? Can you hover over and you see a wee star?
I can give people.
Yes, if there's a good question comes in, mate, star that, and I'll see it pop up, mate, and it means I can see it. All right. There we go. Very professional. Very professional. So yes, we're just going to rattle through as many questions as we can within an hour or so, and if we're still left with some left over, I will do my best to catch up with them at another podcast at another time, maybe next week, something along the lines of that. Before we get started, please, as always, please do like the video, please do subscribe to the channel. That would be very much appreciated. And now we will get into things. So I'll start with a question first of all from Rob, who sent it in. He said he would love to see Tillman stay beyond this season, but when we've needed him to step up against Celtic, he has been very underwhelming. Granted, the last game he was unfit, as my phone decides to close on itself. This is going swimmingly well. Do you guys think we need 3 massive performances against them before the end of the season, or should we sign him regardless of how he does, as this is his first season in the first team, before we give him the benefit of the doubt? Ali, what's your thoughts on that? He makes a point. Tillman hasn't really shown up in an Old Firm. Granted, I do agree he wasn't fit in the last one, but it's a fair point.
Fair point. Still young, remember. Similar to my man Aribo. Didn't really turn up in Old Firm for a while. He did during that 55 season, Aribo, in certain games. Thank you very much, Dundee Taylor. That's
superb, Dundee.
Really
thank you.
Appreciated. No, I agree. We've got 3 Old Firms to go before the end of the season. The big one's the semi-final. I'm pretty sure he'll show up. He's got too much quality, Tillman, but even if he doesn't, he's put in a fantastic performance in that. I would still sign him. And the fact that if we can sign him for 5 or 6 million, we will make money in a pure business sense, as Rangers are. They'll make money, so I would sign him regardless. But he's young, but yeah, the guy's got class, so it's a yes for me.
It's a quick answer from me. It's a definite yes from me. I think we can't be too harsh on him. He's had a change of manager as well, so he's learning under Beale, and I definitely think we've seen the best of him since Beale came in. So, yeah, Old Firms are big games, and you will ultimately get judged on that as a Rangers player. But I still think the potential there is huge, and Rangers are guaranteed to make money on it. So it's a yes from me, Scotia.
I'll be quick. Definitely yes for me. Ali's kind of covered all the points there, so yes, I would have him straight away.
Ryan?
Yeah, definitely. I think the price tag that's been banded about 5 million is for potential, and the potential he shows is worth that in today's market. So it's a yes for me, and I'm not concerned about him not turning up at big games. He's still very young for me.
Yeah. Yeah, completely agreed. So it's a unanimous yes. Next one is from Jamie Lowe, who is Club at 22 admin. Club at 22 admin. Questions from him. He says, Club at 22, the top content podcast. Talking of content, what is your favourite Rangers song? Scotia, I'll come to you first.
Oh, favourite Rangers song?
We're all going to be lying
here. There's lots. Pod friendly one. I'll have follow. Just because it's always been there. Right, go for the safe option of follow.
Yeah, that's a very safe option. I'll go with, since when we experienced it anyway, last season, the Old Firm game at Hampden, the Glasgow Rangers, when that was fantastic. That's a really good
before as well.
Yeah, that's a really good song. Once when you're winning and the whole crowd's doing it together, that's a very good one. So most recently, that's probably my favourite, especially when things are going well. To hear the whole crowd doing that, that's a pretty good one. Ryan, your favourite?
I have lots, so I can't really choose one. I'm sorry about that, guys. Lots.
lots and lots. Yeah, Ali, can you pick one?
Some of the ones I enjoy are 18 and above, I would say. So I can't say them. The Matondo song's an absolute nailer. I thought Ryan would say that. Blue Sea of Ibrox, for me, I do like that. If you want to do this PG, Blue Sea of Ibrox. But Jamie Lowe does love his content. X-rated content.
He does love his content, and the content of Scotia's OnlyFans is probably his favourite. So, right, give me 2 seconds and I'll move on to ones that Scott done in the post that I popped on YouTube earlier this week. Connor has asked what positions are needing strengthened in the team starting 11. Ryan, I'll come to you first. Obviously, interestingly enough, that Beale has come out in an interview and said that he gave 5 names to Ross Wilson and told him to go and do his thing. I am very encouraged by that. I'm very encouraged the fact that we are in the end of March and he's already identified the 5 players that he wants, and he's willing to say so as well, which does pile the pressure quite significantly onto Ross Wilson. But nevertheless, still very impressive. Where are they 5 names, mate? What 5 positions?
Goalkeeper, as
100%.
everyone will say, goalkeeper. Centre half, for me, I want a centre half just to kind of challenge Davies and Goldson, keep them on their toes as a defender who will attack a cross ball. I want a right back who will mitigate our mistakes at right back and put Tavernier on his toes. I want a centre mid next to Raskin, just in case Jack breaks down, and I want a striker.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
I want.
CGM said the same thing there. I think that's pretty much it. I think, Ali, would you agree with that? I think that is pretty much it.
Yeah, goalkeeper, left side of centre half because Souttar's cover for Goldson at right side. So left that one. A guy to give Tav a kick up the arse now and again. 2 strikers, I've said it, and a midfielder. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Scotia can't really be much different. I think every area of the squad needs something.
Yeah, I would say for me, Tillman's a definite one for me as well. So put Tillman into that list. Goalkeeper, midfielder, and then 1 or 2 strikers. And then, like you say, a cover defensively. But that would be the lowest in my priority list. The other 4 would be above that.
Why? Because King's there?
Yeah, I think so. At the moment, I think we need a goalkeeper, midfielder and striker for me more urgently than we need the defensive cover.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that as well. Actually, I would probably go along with that. King, I mean, he played left centre half for us, didn't he? So King's all right at left centre half. So,
Jimmy,
yeah.
Jimmy,
Jimmy, what are you?
Back with a bang.
Oh, goodness, God. Jimmy! Wow, mate.
That's for your Matondo photo, by the way.
My
That's
goodness.
not for us.
Jimmy, that is unbelievable, mate. Wow, honestly.
Jimmy.
I don't even know. I'm not really sure what to do with that, Jimmy.
I hope he's not pissing the Bahamas.
Oh my God, Jimmy, that's incredible, mate. Absolutely fantastic, mate. Like, that's out of this world, mate. That is.
He is my favourite referee of all time.
Same, that is definitely my favourite. Definitely my favourite.
Yeah, amazing,
that's
Jimmy.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed your travels, mate, and welcome back. But mate, that's incredible. Cannot thank you enough for that. Absolutely fantastic. Blown my socks off there. Absolutely, that's tremendous. What are we doing here? What, we're out a podcast, right? Okay, yes. No, that's incredible. Connor also asked top 5 players to have played for us since 2012. Ali, you can go first. Top 5. Ones that come to your head.
Since then, Connor Goldson, Ryan Kent, oh Christ, I'm struggling here. Morelos, when he was peak Morelos, Steve Davis. I have to say Tav. I know folk will get hate for that. Tav, that's 4 I've got there, is it not? And since 2012, one more. Oh, I'm struggling. I wish you'd sent me that through before, Karen, so I could have had a wee look at that.
I've not even read these, mate. I've not
Carlos Peña for a bit of banter. There we go.
Yeah, Carlos Peña. Carlos Peña. Yeah, good old Carlos. Do you hear he's joining Ronaldo?
Yes.
Honestly, you cannot make that up. That he's going to be playing
in
the same team as Ronaldo. No, that's true. That's true. Scotia, you've some interesting ones, I would imagine.
No, I think mine's is fairly similar to Ali's there. McGregor, Goldson, Davies, Morelos, and a 5th one. Part of me really wants to put Tillman in, but he's only been here for half a year, really. Defoe, I'll stick Defoe in along there. There's a decent 5s team.
Great shout, Scotia.
Great shout. That's a great shout. He was a cracking player. Ryan?
I'm going to go with players who gave me the most joy since 2012. So Alan McGregor. I think Alfredo Morelos, when he's his peak, I absolutely loved watching. I love Nathan Patterson because he came through the youth. I got a big buzz for him coming through, and only played for a wee while. Big Bassey, I loved the way he played. I loved how his heart was on his sleeve. I love players like that. And Jason Cummins.
I'll go Ian Black, Brandon Barker. Who else can we go for? Rob Kiernan. Should we give special mention to like Lee Wallace and Lee McCulloch?
Well, I was thinking that you've got Wallace, McCulloch, and Miller from the earlier.
No, you can't pick Miller. We've been through that, Scotia. You can't pick Miller for things like this.
Malel Moshney. There's one for you.
Yeah, Moshney. Yeah. I think, Morelos has been my favourite player. He's the first time that I've uttered the words, he's my favourite player when he was in his peak. I absolutely loved him. I'd be inclined to go McGregor as well. Goldson, definitely. I really like Ryan Jack, so I'm going to say Ryan Jack. And it's hard not to say Tav. I get that. I know people will not like that, but our stats for a right back are unbelievable. They really are unbelievable. But there is, so see, when you start thinking about the players that have played for us, you're like, my goodness. But it's kind of obvious that it was going to be towards the modern day team, I suppose. They choices considering what we've been through. So yeah, Magic, thanks very much for that, Connor. I really do appreciate it, mate. CGM has asked one, not in the live chat, another one. In the post, he said, how much money do you think we'll realistically be able to spend this summer, and will it be dependent on player sales and Champions League qualification? It is my worry. If it is my worry, is we will be scrapping around at the end of the window again instead of getting our business done early. Well, I think, Scotia, maybe the comments from Bill today makes it look like maybe we're going to do our business early. I think it's pretty critical for Bill to get his business done early, considering he's got a rebuild, if you like, or a revamp of the squad to go through in the summer. But realistically, on money, all depends who leaves, I think, in terms of contract money, etc.
Yeah, that's the thing. In terms of the amount of money you'll spend, it could be that amount, but it also depends the type of players we go for and if they're looking for big contracts as well. So I think you're probably looking, as a minimum, about £15 million is what he needs to spend, and that's not including other players like Barisic, Hadji, Kamara going out and getting transfer fees in for them, because I think they're probably your three likeliest to get you some pretty decent fees for them without selling our best players. Or the best in the first team kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So I reckon about 15 mil would probably be the starting block.
Yeah, Ryan, it's unrealistic to think that Rangers are going to go out and spend 25, 30 million. It's not going to happen. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to sign £5 million players. I feel like business is going to need to be done quite smart. It's just the nature of the beast. But Scotia's point not far off the mark. I was thinking around 10 to 12 million. At least I would be expected to get pumped into the squad.
I think obviously we focus on the money because of where we've been, and we do seem to shop out the bargain basement, but we need to sign well. That's what we need to do. We need to sign well. We need to be more clever than that lot. So I would agree, and I've said this before, I worry that the £5 million that we're going to spend in Tillman is the biggest chunk of our budget this summer. So that's what kind of worries me. I would say between 5 and 10 million, I would imagine Rangers will spend. But it all depends if the quality's right. We need to sign the right players. This can't be a bad window in the summer. So I would say between 5 and 10 million.
Yeah. Ali? Unless it's Scotia again, sorry.
Yeah, I think the Tillman money will be ring-fenced. I think that'll be ring-fenced by investors outside. I think January's proved that you don't need to go and spend money to get quality in if you look about in terms of what we've brought in. But I expect Rangers to. We need a goalkeeper on that, so I expect Rangers to spend. I would say 10 million, excluding Tillman.
Yeah. I'd go something along the lines of that. Yeah, I have seen people's questions in the chat, but this one is very good, so I'm going to put it up from the Muncher Curries. You have Beale, Parks, and Wilson on a presser. You've got one question to ask them. What would it be? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Ali, do you want a minute to think? I know you like to have a think about these things.
I know what I'd ask Wilson.
Right, go for it.
Why did you sign Rabbi Matondo? His answer would be so I could give Ryan a signed photo of him.
Yeah, so I give Ryan a signed photo.
Park, why do you not speak to the fans enough? Basically, that's my other question. And Beale would be, if I could ask him a question just to me and Beale. Nobody else needs to know about it. This isn't like
it's a presser.
On a presser, sorry.
So I'd imagine the press might get a hold of it.
Right. Yeah, okay. I was going to ask what his formation would be next season if it was between me and him, but if it's in a press room for Beale, I would probably ask him what he was asked today, or how many players would you see for next season we need to bring in. I'd ask him.
Yeah,
I've not had time to think about it, so there you go.
No, I know that's the point of these, mate. That's the whole point of this. It's to kind of put you on the spot. My question for Beale would be, I'm going to hand you a bit of paper with my number on it. Can you please pass it to Steven Gerrard and ask him to give me a call, because I would really like to talk to him and just tell him how much I appreciated how much he done for my club and how much I loved him. That would probably be my question. No, I'm really kidding. To Beale, Yeah, it would be. If it was right now, what's the real situation with Morelos? What's actually going on? Have you told him? Has he told you that he's moving on? I would like a final answer on that. Park, I say I can't not ask him the same as Ali. Well, why do you not communicate with the fans as a leader of this club? Why are you not communicating with the fans more? It's kind of part of your job to lead that ship and direct that ship to make sure there's an open communication between the club and the fans. And Wilson, did he actually think Aaron Ramsey was going to work? Because you must have put him through a medical. I mean, did you actually think it was going to work, or was this just a wee? I'm going to put a wee feather in my cap here and get the Rangers fans on my side. There could be many more questions, and I'm pretty sure people will put them in the chat as well. But Scotia, what would your questions be?
Right, I've had a wee time to think since you've asked it here. So Wilson, I would ask, as kind of the overseer of all things football, what's been done to address the issues with the medical department, and why do you always seem to double down and kind of take a very hostile approach when you're asked a question or asked something that you don't agree with?
Very good.
Beale, similar to you and Ali, I would ask him going forward, are we likely to see a bit more flexibility in his tactics rather than what we've seen under him and Gerrard? They quite rigidly stuck to the same formation all the time. I would like to ask him if we're likely to see a wee bit more change in variety coming into next season. And then Park, boring one, what are the board's long-term aims really? And that's probably been answered somewhere in the past, but what are their long-term aims and how do they plan to kind of communicate more things, like you say, with the fans going forward?
Good ones, mate. Good ones. Ryan, strap yourself in, everybody.
No, not too bad. I think I would definitely agree with Scotia. I would ask Beale if he's got a plan B opposed to what his tactics were under Gerrard, because I think we struggled with that at times. With no plan B domestically. I would ask Ross Wilson how many players under Gio were signed by him and how many players were signed by Gio. And I think to Park, I would ask him what is in place to bridge this pathetic relationship that they both have with the fans at the moment.
Yeah, good answers, mate, for sure. Good answers. Thank you, Curry, as always, mate. Gary has asked, there's been discussion recently around a change in formation. If we did change to, say, a 3-5-2 for the rest of the season, what would your team be and why? Scotia, I think it's your turn to go first.
Right, Joe. McGregor in goals, Suter, Goldson and Davies, Tav, Jack, Raskin and Cantwell, Kent out in the left, and then Tillman and probably for the remaining to the end of the season. I'm contradicting what I said a couple of pods ago, but probably Alfie at the moment. That's kind of who I'd play. And there's wee things that you would change around about that, but let other guys pick their team.
Yeah, Ryan, sorry, before you do, Anonymous, he's just bought the podcast 5 coffees. Thank you very much, mate. Genuinely really appreciate that. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Ryan, your team, if it was a 3-5-2?
3-5-2, how do I work this? Jeez. So your defenders have got to be Suter, Davies, Goldson, and then 3 in the middle would be Jack, Raskin, Cantwell. Ball on the left just now because Gilmour's injured. Tav right, and I play Tillman and Cholak up front. No Morelos, no Kent because they've not signed contracts.
Ooh, ruthless. Like it. Ruthless. Ali?
I take it Scotia got this question before because it looked like he noted that down a bit of paper when he was reading it out.
No,
I did have a wee look earlier today.
Just the way he was looking at it. I thought he was
to be honest, I was thinking about giving a 3-5-2 team for the game last time because it would get mentioned in the presser, so it's something I have been thinking about anyway.
And also in Scotia's defence, these questions have been public on the post, mate, so it's not as if Scotia's getting favouritism. If you wanted to look, mate, I found them.
Sorry, I was busy today. Sorry.
Must try harder, mate. Must try harder.
Sorry, I'll try this next week. No, if it's current, McGregor, the three is what we've said. Suter, Goldson, Davies. 3 of Raskin, Cantwell, Jack, Tav, Barisic, Kent, and Morelos currently.
I would be slightly different, I think. Knowing the way that knowing what I think Ryan Jack can do in terms of covering for fullbacks, etc., when they bomb up the park, and Raskin would probably have to do a similar job. I picked the same back four. On the left, I would have Kent, and I'd have Jack, Raskin, Cantwell. On the right, I would have Tav, and up front, I would have Tillman and probably Morelos right now, because Trolak as well. I feel bad. I feel like Trolak's kind of getting flung under the bus, but I think we've all came round to the realisation, the kind of common consensus amongst Rangers fans is that he's not going to be good enough to be our number 9 going forward, like our starting number 9. I definitely think he can contribute. I think there's goals in there, but I don't think he's ready enough to lead the line. Des Mason, thank you so much for the £5, mate. Really do appreciate that. And Brian, absolutely superb, mate. Really do appreciate that. That's very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Before we go any further, gentlemen, I'm going to need to do a little bit of speaking. And I've not prepared this, but here we go. So it's time for a word from our sponsors, Manscaped even. Cracking start, Scott. Well done. Spring has sprung and our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, have the best tools for some spring cleaning. Look your best this spring and join the other 8 million men who trust Manscaped. Use the code CLUB@22, get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Manscaped are here to change the way all the fellas can take care of ourselves and groom with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside this ball care bundle, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop Reviver toner, which is Scotia's favourite. Additionally, if you purchase now, you'll receive 2 free gifts: the Performance Boxer briefs, which are very comfortable, and the Shed travel bag. Always use the right tools for the job and head to their website and check out all of their tools to help you upgrade your hygiene routine. Save 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. What will your balls do, lads?
They will
thank you.
They will, thank you. And a wee bit of bonus news is that Manscaped have signed up with us to the end of the season, which is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much to Manscaped for the continued support for us. Absolutely incredible. And for people that have used the code as well. Really do appreciate that. It's brilliant. And you're supporting our podcast by doing so. So I really do appreciate it. Right, back to the questions now. And I'm saying this guy's name, man. Honestly, Big Harry Cock. Before I proceed with my question, please understand this is not purposely negative. It's just a realistic take. That being said, where does it leave us? Should Beale play out the remaining 3 Old Firm games and not win a single one, and they go on and do a treble? Can you realistically start next season with a guy in charge who's had 5 attempts to beat them and failed every time? That's my fear, but totally appreciate it's completely hypothetical at present. Hypothetical or not, Ali, it's still points there. There's still a point within that, really. Right now, there's little scope for anything going really wrong amongst the Rangers support. We've seen it with the protests, we've seen it with the things that are going on, so there is points in there. However, I think no matter what, and everybody will come back to say the same thing, should that be the case, that we do lose at the remaining 3 and we don't win the Scottish Cup, it's not Beale's team. That's what will get branded about.
Yeah, it's big for Beale. He's got to have us more competitive against them. In terms of the last game, it was 2-1, but we didn't turn up Rangers. To me, he's got to win 2 out of 3. He's got to win the semi-final. The semi-finals, he must win that. That's a must-win for me, regardless if he's got his players in or not. The 2 in Raskin and Cant will have to play in that game. Hopefully, they'll be fit by it. They'll be fit then. No injuries going forward. So that's a must-win. And the one at Parkhead's are probably a must-win as well, I preferred, in a couple of weeks' time, to try and give us any sort of hope in the league. To me, the league's done, but if he could win 2 out of 3 of the last Old Firms and be competitive, Yeah, fair enough. But he has to win the semi-final. Has to win that one.
I 100% agree with Ali. I've got nothing more to add on that. I agree with that. He has to win the semi-final. He has to. It's one of those games that he will be judged on ultimately, because of the way the League Cup final went. He will be judged on this semi-final coming up, so he has to win that. The other two, in the grand scale of things, doesn't matter. He's came in 9 points behind. It's still 9 points now. His record so far has been pretty good. Like, you can't really complain about the record that he has. The only thing you can say is that he's not beat Celtic yet. That's the only thing that you can say. Scotia?
Yeah, I'd have to kind of agree with that. I think if you don't win the first two coming up, then the last one, just that if we won that, it would be kind of like a Pyrrhic victory, really. It wouldn't really matter. It would be nothing changes there. And then it's one of those ones as well where Celtic could turn around. Because if that's the case, that we've not won the previous two, then in all likelihood, the league's beyond reach by the time that one comes around. So yeah, I think he needs to get at least one. Because I was looking through, Ali, again, this question was there on the YouTube post, and it was last night that it was there as well. So you could have had a look last night if you thought about this. But I had a quick look through. Like, Alex McLeish came in and he drew 2 in the league, 1-2 in the cup. Walter Smith came in halfway through the season, 1-2 in the league. Giovanni came in sort of halfway through the season, lost 2 in the league, drew 1 in the league, and then 1 in the cup. And even Kishinya came in and drew 1 in the league, lost 1 in the league, and then lost in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. And at the moment, people's kind of somewhere in between Kishinya and Gio in terms of how that could turn out, in terms of where he is and winning things. So yeah, I think the cup is a definite needs to win one.
Yeah, Ryan, you agreement with that?
Yeah, I don't think, in terms of results against them, if he loses the 3 games, I think he's still here in the summer. This is a transitional period for us. When you get players in, we know what we need to do. We need to change the shape of this and the style of this team. But his performances for me are a huge thing against them. We've sat off them so many times in Old Firm games and got our backsides handed to us. All being frustrated in the stands or at home watching the telly. It doesn't matter where you are, but we've all been frustrated watching Old Firm games. And that's what needs to change for me. The attitude and the mentality needs to change for me. I need to see something different from a Rangers side under Beale against them. If I see that, then I'll be hopeful for the future under him. If I see the same cowarding against them in the next 3 games, then I'll fear.
Yeah, I think I've said it before that with the Old Firm games coming up, especially the last 3, it's hell for leather. Like, we have to go for it. We can't try and contain them. There's no point in it. We've seen what happens. We've seen the story many times before. We have to play them at their own game ultimately, and we just have to go for it. I think it will be hellish to watch as a fan for both sets, because both can be vulnerable at times at the back, but we have to be on point going forward, and we have to push them all over the pitch. It'll be absolutely hectic, but it's what I believe that we need to do. And if we do that and we lay it all out there and we still get beat, I'm not going to say I'm going to be happy about it. I won't be, but you'll go, we're just not there yet. We're not at it yet. We don't have the players that we need yet, and that's all you can really ask for in the situation that we're in right now. That's all you can ask for. So cheers very much, Harry. I'm not saying your full name again, Harry, for the question. Ross McLean, my goodness, goal of the season so far. Who do you want next as a kit sponsor? Adidas. What Rangers player would you want on the pod? Borna v Ryan would be incredible. That's quite good. I would go with the season so far. I don't know. I need to think about that one. And who would I want on the pod? Ryan Jack. Ali? I don't know who was first there. Sorry, I've lost my
goal of the season. Trying to think back. I need to go back and have a wee look at that one. I can't pull one out the back of my head at the moment that really comes to mind. Tav's hit a few free kicks actually.
Sakala's volley against Dundee United. That was a peach.
Yeah, that was good.
Touch, and that was a cracker. That was a cracker.
Oh no, Ryan Kent's against Celtic. I thought that was a great goal at Ibrox.
That was. Yeah,
I'll go with that one. What was the other 2 questions? Sorry.
Kit sponsor. Who would you like to see?
Kit sponsor. I agree with you, Adidas. And what was the other question?
Who would you like on the pod? Rangers player. Honestly, man.
Sorry, Ryan.
Do you want me to take that spoon out your mouth, mate?
Aye. No, it's a Friday. My brain's sort of switching down a wee bit here. But on the podcast, current Rangers player, somebody that's a bit.
Oh, McGregor would be good.
No, you'd be a misery in this. Todd Cantwell.
Good one. Scotia, do you want me to tell you the 3 questions again?
No, I know what they are. I know what they are.
Thanks, mate.
So the goal of the season, I don't think there's been an outstanding, like one that you can remember really well, but Tillman's scored a few. I'd probably say Tillman's against Motherwell was good, yeah. But the one I was thinking of was this goal recently against Hearts. I really liked that one a couple of weeks ago now. So I'll go for that. There was another couple that I've got, but I don't want to put them because, I don't want to put this one in because it's terrible in terms of the way that the game progressed. It was the feeling when Arfield scored when we were playing Liverpool. The feeling that goal, we were 1-0 up, it was great. That moment, that's the goal that I've celebrated the most at the time and enjoyed the most this season. Yeah. Obviously, what comes after is terrible. So, kit sponsor. See, I thought about this wrong. I thought, was it the kit manufacturer or kit sponsor? So in terms of kit sponsor.
Oh, that's a good point. Actually, that is what the question says. I'm presuming Ross means who do you want to make it? The kit sponsor, I couldn't care less, really, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
I'm not one of these.
High Park's not a group, man.
Yeah, and because I was thinking about it, I'm not that bothered if it's a betting company or an alcohol company. That doesn't really bother me. But I was thinking what I would love to see us do is do something like maybe have the Rangers Charity Foundation as a season as your kind of sponsor, but we probably need money in, really, rather than being that type. But in terms of a kit manufacturer, I was thinking Macron. I would quite like to have them. They do some decent kits.
What?
I bet they do a lot of Italian kits or something.
I bet you they do. I guarantee you do. Yes, they do. Of course they do.
I thought he was going to say Kappa.
Kappa, that's another good shit. But no, because they done a really good Faroe Islands away kit a couple of seasons ago that I really liked, and the Wisla Krakow third kit this season's really nice, I think. So that player on the pod. Is it a player on the pod to interview or a player on the pod to be like doing a match reaction or something?
Whatever, mate.
Oh, sorry, thinking too hard. I'd go. I'll go. Alan McGregor. I think he would be class on the pod because I think he would properly speak his mind.
Yeah, Ryan.
Tillman's goal against Motherwell, because me and Ali were there. I like a goal like that, but you just grab the game by the balls and you just go for it. Love that goal. Definitely interview Alan McGregor. I would absolutely love that. Love it. I think he's everything that I probably am in the stands, an absolute maniac. And my kit sponsor would be, is Orange still a network? I always liked them as a network, a phone network. We'll go O2. We'll go O2. They're quite a good network. We'll go O2. And Adidas is a kit maker. I always thought they brought brilliant kits out in the 90s, boys.
100%. Curry, I've let you jump the queue twice here. When we get a Club at 22 get together, there's things in motion in order for a live show. A few people have messaged me and asked me when it's going to happen. There is things in motion. It's not quite as easy just to go, right, let's do it next week. I have to plan accordingly. There is things in motion for it. I've not got a set date, but you're looking, it's sometime in May, possibly June. But we have to nail it down first because we need to make sure we're all available as well. So it's coming. It's coming. I promise you that it's coming.
Would anyone in the comments come? Give us a yes or a no if you would come.
Give us a yes if you'd come. Yeah, come to the Viceroy with us for.
Get a signed photo with Scotia as well.
Somebody type in the comments no for me.
But it will be coming. So, Magic, thanks very much, Ross, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Kyle has asked, a lot has been made about the importance of senior players in the team. However, given that we're constantly lose the first goal in matches, is it the senior leaders on the pitch that are the blame? Insofar as they are unable to read the game whilst the game is in motion to stop the goals from happening, is Tav, Goldson, etc. all not strong enough leaders that Beale and his predecessors think they are? Getting deep here, Scotia.
Yeah, see, when they talk about senior players, I don't think it's just on the pitch. I think an awful lot of that is what the senior players are doing on the training pitch and away from the 90-minute game of football at the weekend or midweek, whenever it is. I think that's really where you're sort of seeing your players come through and helping acclimatise your new signs, etc., to come there. But it's nothing new. I mean, we went through a period of conceding the first goal all the time in Europe, back with Gerrard and Beale. So I don't know. I'm thinking of people that read the game well. I don't know if Goldson is an absolute brilliant. Like, I think of Davy Weir, and he read the game excellently. I don't know if Goldson's that same type of defender that can read it like that. So I think on the pitch they probably do need to do a wee bit more. But I think a big thing of, like I say, for senior players is what they do off the pitch and in the training ground and things like that. Stuff we don't get to see.
Also true. Ryan, I'm going to tie it in. I think there's another comment. I'll try and find out where it is. So the next one that I'm about to come to, Lauren's asked, is Cav captain material, which I suppose is kind of tied into this as well. Now, I believe that Tav kind of deserved to get the captain's armband. I can understand why people don't see him as the leader on the park, because you can hear Goldson from pretty much all over the park screaming and yelling. Same as McGregor, but you could hear McGregor in a thunderstorm. I think Tavernier's probably got the respect of his peers, and that's probably what makes him captain. But what's your thoughts on that question, mate?
I think it's time to get rid of the, if you want to call them, the old guard, or the players that have been there for a while, 55, whatever before. In an ideal world, I would like to see McGregor, Tavernier, Barisic, that kind of backbone of that team moved on and replaced with fresh blood, hungry players. I'm not saying McGregor's not hungry or Tavernier's not hungry. I just think, for me, it's time to move on from that. In terms of the captaincy, I'm not going to bash Tav. I always say an armband's just a physical thing you put on. You can be a captain without having an armband on. You see with players, you have to have that desire and hunger to win. Any player can do that without an armband. So for me, it's immaterial who's got the armband, mate. But yes, in terms of old guard, I would like to see something new, but I don't think we can afford to get rid of Tavernier and all these players and replace them, mate. I don't think we're at that stage yet.
Yeah, I'm for one of thinking stripping Tavernier of the captain's armband achieves nothing.
Nah, because he's not vocal. A lot of folk think back to like a Barry Ferguson type where he was barking all over the park, and that's not Tav. Tav stepped up in big moments for us and scored big goals. How many times have we been a goal down, especially this season and last season, and Tav scores the next goal? And in that run in Europe where Tav was at that back post, so scores big goals for us. So no, I agree with the rest of the lads as well. So, and there's captains in the park. Is it not Man City that's got a group of captains within their team? I'm sure it's Man City. I'm sure they do. I'm sure I read that somewhere. Could be telling a lot of rubbish, but I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. They're a group of captains.
I think Gerrard. I'm sure Gerrard said that as well at some point. I'm sure Gerrard said, he was getting questioned on Tavernier, and he said, I've got a group of captains in there.
Yeah.
They all know who they are. So I think it was Coulson, Arfield, etc. So yeah, I think Gerrard's got that. Well said, he had that as well.
Yeah. Magic Cow, thanks very much, mate. Lauren has asked, player most improved or you've been surprised by so far this season? Best highlight or game of the season so far? She asked about Tav being the captain. How did you all meet and decide to start up the pod? We've told that story a few times.
All night.
Yeah, Ryan, player most improved so far this season or you've been surprised by this season? I'd be surprised if we don't say the same person here.
So would I.
I'd be shocked.
Most improved? I'm having a brain freeze here.
It's your favourite song, mate.
I was going to give him the clue.
Oh, right, okay. He's had a good season. Are we top of Charlie McCann,
Oh, there you go.
All the bars, it's just a good season this season. There's no doubt about it. I'll give you that. I've been surprised with Tillman. Thought he's been good. My son did say he's a good player, but I've been surprised at how good he's been. And did we get asked about meeting each other? No, have I to answer that?
You can if you want, aye.
I met Ali in Scotia through Scott, and I used to work with Scott. There you go. And I wish I'd never met Ali.
Ali, most improved. For me, it's Sakala.
The man for Zambia all day long. Every Saturday, Ryan stays up late at night to hear that song from me in Scotia, and we always deliver for him. No, I mean, Sakala, we know what he is. He's a curveball. He's frustrating, but you can't argue with his numbers this season, can he? And that's why he's playing week in, week out for us now, and he's delivering with stats. And he is frustrating, but Sakala for me. Under Gio, he didn't fancy him, and I seen him that Queen of the South game I think you boys were at for the press pass. I remember watching that around a pool in Mexico going, oh my God, he was wrong. But since under Beale, he's flourished for me, so Sakala.
Yeah, I remember having that conversation with Ryan when we were sitting in the gantry. I was going, what? I mean, I genuinely thought you wouldn't see him play for Rangers again. Honestly, I thought so because he was so bad. I mean, terribly bad. But since Beale's come in, he really has hit a kind of different level. We didn't answer one, but Ryan and Ali didn't answer one of them. Ones was best highlight of the game of the season so far. Hearts, I would imagine.
Hibs for me.
Hibs. Aye, Hibs even. I did mean Hibs, by the way. Well, they start with H. I mean, come on.
I'm the same as Scotia with his previous question, his previous answer. See that moment when Arfield scored against Liverpool, for me, that was like, epic. I raised the rest of it, but that was epic that night.
Yeah, that was a horrible night, though. It really was. Ali, your highlight of the season so far?
Yeah, probably that Hibs away. Yeah, I thought Hearts was our best game until I watched the Hibs game, so Hibs.
Yeah. And I'll quickly answer how we all met. I used to work with a guy called Mahal. I'm not giving his real name out because he's a professional person. I used to work with a guy called well, there's two sides to this guy. There's very much two sides to this guy, and he does not watch this podcast, which is bizarre. He'll never hear this. But I used to work with him. I became good pals with him, and I got invited on his stag do, and I met Alistair, and I met Scotia at the start of the stag do. I think I seen him briefly when we got lost inside a train station, and Ali wasn't very happy that we couldn't get out of a train station in Berlin to go and watch Rangers v Ross County. Is that right?
Yep.
Rangers v Ross County. And yeah, and ever since then we've been going to the games together. I've realised that we sit very, very close to each other in Ibrox, and that's kind of been it. Yeah, that's kind of been it. And when Jamie was on, I've known Jamie since we were both in nappies, so I've known Jamie my whole life, literally my whole life. So yeah, that's how I know Jamie. That's it. Scotia, you are. What's the question? It's dead professional. This most improved player, mate. Most improved player.
But I completely forgot about Sakala because I was going to pick Kent under Beale, but then no, it has to be Sakala under Beale. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so I'll go with what you say there.
Yeah,
and then last one. I've known Ali since high school, since second year of high school.
Or something.
Yeah, second. Well, I would have been in second or third year when we first met. So I've known Ali. Unfortunately, known him that long.
For sure, flocked every moment.
Yeah. Lauren, thanks very much for your question. That's very much appreciated. Really do appreciate that. Right, we've got a few left, I think, starred. CGM, the Gilmour rumours are back with a bang. Would you take him? I'd love to have him back, no doubt. He would be a good folate for Raskin and Cantwell. Ryan, come to you. You first? No, Ali, I'll come to you first. Sorry.
I've seen this rumour floating about. He's kind of went back. I see when he broke on the scene at Chelsea and he had the fantastic games and he was running amok. I remember Roy Keane going on about him, but he's fallen away. Can't get a game at Brighton. If he was available, yeah, I think he fits that position we're looking for where Ryan Jack kind of sits, because can Ryan Jack play the whole season next season? So yes, I would take him back. I don't know how much money it would cost because Brighton paid a good bit of money to get him, maybe on a loan to buy possibly. So yes, I would take him back.
Scotia, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm sure CGM asked this question in one of the comments from the pod on Tuesday night there. Back to him, yeah, I would. I know it because I've said in that question I'd look at this because Gilmour might be one of these players that will tick the quota for being a Rangers homegrown player, but I didn't actually go in and check if that's the case. But no, I think Gilmour would be a good fit in beside Raskin there. He plays that sitting midfielder role quite well. I wouldn't be adverse to that. Although I think I did say this in the comment as well previously. Maybe prefer McAllister from Brighton if we were going to have any pick, but I don't think we've got the money for him.
Oh, God.
We definitely don't. Like,
Fantasy
come on.
stuff.
Like, honestly, Ryan, I think Gilmour's a wee bit fantasy stuff as well due to where he plays football now. I think we would need to have a loan to buy thing for maybe 2 years, and I agree. I feel that I don't know they would be too chuffed about, to be honest. I think he might be a wee bit too far out of our reach.
I quite like that Kevin De Bruyne guy.
Yeah, he's quite good. Yeah, he's not bad. Kante's not really been getting a game for Chelsea either. I wouldn't mind him. He's all right.
Aye, he's not bad. Gilmour, bring him home. Honestly, bring him home. I love him. I think he's a great player. I don't think it's worked out well from since he left Chelsea. What I see from him when he plays with Scotland, or any time I see him, I like him. I think he would be at home here. I think he'd walk it. He knows what's required in Scottish domestic football. I think he would walk it in Scotland. I don't have any concerns about that. I think he would slot next to Raskin. I'd bring him home, but the figures that may be bandaged about, I don't know. It would need to be I think it would need to be a loan to buy. I don't think they'll let him away cheap. What was he, 13 million, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
That's
a
guess, something like that.
So
I don't think they'll let him away for £2-3 million, boys. So I think it'd be a loan to buy. And I think you've also got to take into consideration Gilmour might not be desperate to come back up here just yet. So, but I would take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, also true. I would take him in a heartbeat as well. Generally, I would. I think he's a cracking player. I do. I don't know if it's realistic. I think it's an easy link clickbait thing again. I just don't think. I don't think it's financially viable for Rangers to get him. I really don't. Unfortunately, my realistic head coming back on there. Big Dodge. My question is, guys, who is all still aboard the Beale bus? I am myself. The summer is crucial though. Biggest transfer window for a long time. Scotia, I'll come to you first because I think that's correct. I don't know. I've lost track of who was going first and who wasn't. I have no idea. What do you think of that, mate? You still on the Beale bus?
Yeah, well, I was apprehensively aboard the Beale bus when he came in. If I think back to when he came in, I don't think it was where you were with it in terms of him coming in. I did have my some concerns, and I think he's put a lot of those concerns to bed. But the big one is that what he done in terms of team selection for the League Cup game there against Celtic, that kind of concerned me. So he's got like we've mentioned earlier, the next 2 games against Celtic to kind of keep me firmly on the Beale board. If he goes out and doesn't pick a team that he should be picking for those games, then my mind will probably change. But yeah, I think he's got to do well in those 2 games.
Yeah, Ryan, you were probably, I don't know if it's fair in saying, mate, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you were probably the least keen out of all of us about Beale coming back, mate. So what's really been your impressions of Beale since he's come in? Are you convinced yet? Like fully convinced? I know you back him, mate. I don't mean it like that. I don't mean like you've getting against him. You kind of know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, no, I totally know what you're getting at. I think I was cautious with the Beale appointment because I was worried it was an easy appointment and maybe somebody who would be a yes man and that the board had brought in just to try and get a tune out of players who are already there and be the kind of cheaper option. That, for me, I'm going to give Beale a lot of credit because he's brought the winning mentality back. He's got us, for me, I'm going to Rangers games at the weekend and I'm thinking we'll win. And that is a big thing because for every single week we were thinking we'll drop points, and that's even at Ibrox. And I think he's brought winning mentality back, which is crucial for us. But he's got to be given time to build this team and get it right. To counter that, I want to see a plan B. I want to see, sometimes, you know me, I'm on a group chat more and see if it's not working for us and we're constantly playing the ball down the wings and crossing. I want to see this plan B. Maybe he's not got the personnel to do that yet, or maybe he's just not got the players buying into what he wants to do. I just want to see that plan B, break the lines a wee bit more, but we're scoring goals, Carney. That's a big thing. We're scoring a lot of goals under him and we're winning games. Now I need to see it, as we all do in big games against them. Lay some gloves on them. Don't be scared. Don't sit back. And that's where it will be judged, I think. So of course, I'm all aboard the Beale bus because he is Rangers manager. So yeah.
Yeah, Ali, it gets lost in the noise, I suppose. The fact that he has brought a winning mentality back, I don't think there's any denying that. And the biggest frustration with everything right now, as we've said a million times, is that they're not dropping points, and that's why any other Rangers manager that starts like this, fair enough, we've conceded some ridiculous goals, we have, and we've still got our defensive problems at times, and staying switched on throughout the game, concentration levels seem to dip, but we're scoring goals, we're coming back from being a goal down time and time again, unfortunately. But it does get lost. I think that Beale's definitely he's brought winning back to the club, and it's not these draws that we've been forced to witness.
Yeah, that was our Achilles heel. Under Gio, we dropped some stupid points against teams we should be going and putting away. And under Beale, we have been putting teams away, especially away from home. We've been going and, as Ryan says, scoring a lot of goals away from home, maybe conceding a few daft ones at times, but we've been scoring fours quite regularly now away from home. So, yeah, he's brought consistency in the league. I agree with Ryan. He is judged on when we play them on the other side of the city. And that's where he'll always be judged against them. The downside, like you said, Carney, is they are winning as well. That's the downside. So if they maybe drop some points, it might be a bit different, but they are winning at the moment, unfortunately. But I think so far his record's been brilliant, but he has to lay a glove on them. I mean, he's got 3 games coming up at the end of the season to prove that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm all for Beale. I really am. I still stick by my view on it. I think there's still work to be done. I don't think there's any great doubt about it. You can see it with your own eyes when you watch games. But I think I can't agree more that this summer has to go well. Beale has to get the players that he needs, and the players that we all know, without sitting going through them all again, the players that we all know need to move on, have to be moved on, and the sentimental bit of our psyche has to be ripped out, and we have to move forward. I think I'm nearly done. I've got one here from Andrew Muir. Andrew, how are you, mate? What's the roadmap going forward for this superb podcast? Thank you for calling us a superb podcast, first of all. Depends what day of the week you speak to me on, mate. To be honest, my mind changes quite a lot. See, to be honest, things are going better than we probably ever imagined that they would. Our next, we'll see out this season the way that we're doing things just now. We'll make no radical changes. We will do a live show. All things going well, I fully expect a live show to happen. And then going forward over the summer, we'll get a bit of time together, as in the 3 lads, obviously, and we'll discuss what we're going to do. I don't really ever want to. It's hard to judge. It's hard to balance and get things correct, because I don't want to take things away. A lot of people are against behind a paywall, etc., all that kind of thing. So we need to decide what's best for the pod going forward. But right now, generally, without being too ridiculously sentimental about this all, it's all a labour of love. We wouldn't all sit be doing here if we didn't want to do it. We genuinely all love to do it. It's an absolute bonus that we get sponsored by Manscaped. You guys want to contribute. Jimmy loses his marbles after having a strong whiskey and decides to donate £100, which is just absolutely crazy, and it's stuff I would never have imagined to happen. And the fact that we even passed 1 million views on YouTube, I would never have believed you when we started this pod that it would have got to this. It's been hard work, and we do put hard work into it. There's absolutely zero doubt about that, but we'll see right now. Right now, we're very much happy with how things are going. Summer, we always, during close season, we'll always have a conversation about what we plan to do with the pod going forward. We did discuss things like the press pass and all that kind of thing, but you've already got podcasts doing that. Is that really something you want to see us doing? Would it bring value? And it's all these things that we will try our hardest to balance and get correct. But one thing's for sure is we'll keep going the way we're going just now, because it's something we absolutely love to do. So yeah, I think that's us, gentlemen, unless you get any further more to add on that question. I know that was obviously directed at me, but or us. I mean, it's up to you if you want to add any more to that. If not, lads, I think we'll leave it at that for tonight. Paul's got one. Hang on, quickly, we can do this one before we finish up.
Oh, Jim's slowing. There he is.
You're nutter. There he is, Jim. You're nutter. Again, it's things like that. I mean, we all speak about it. I don't get used to this kind of thing. I don't get used to people wanting to donate the channel. It's not. It's overwhelming, the support that we have. Genuinely, it's crazy. We all get a wee bit kind of shy about it, really. Shy about it, but it's incredible. Jim, thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much. Right, we'll finish with Paul's. If you could pick one player and any wish list to come into this team, who would they be? Who would they be? Ali, you can go first. If you could pick one old player and any wish list player to come into this team.
Oh, Justin Muir, before I come into that, Justin Muir. God bless
Justice
America. Yeah, Scott Arfield. I should have said that. Scott Arfield to come on, so the two of us could salute Justin Muir from America. No, it's got to be God for me. Brian Laudrup. I think he would solve the right-hand side for us at the moment, so I would bring him in. And a player that I would bring in currently kicking about.
A wish list player, so it could be anybody.
I know I'm rattling my brain here who I'd bring in. Messi.
Yeah, Messi. That's fair enough. In this team right now, old player. Yes, Laudrup. I can't not look past Laudrup. He's my hero. He always will be my hero. Brian Laudrup or Marco Negri. Scotia?
Well, you're stealing that off Ryan there, aren't you? Laudrup's a good shout, but I think fixing someone up front, Michael Moles, before he got injured.
Mikey Moles.
I think he would be a good fit for this team. And then player, we need someone beside Raskin. Then it'll need to be Zinedine Zidane. Beside Raskin.
What a player he was. Right now, I think a few people have said it in the comments there. Haaland, I would
Haaland, it's a good shout.
In a heartbeat, man. The guy's an absolute animal, man. He's superb. He would be my. But I won from days going by. Who did I love? I loved Paul Scholes. Absolutely loved Paul Scholes. Steven Gerrard in his palm as well. Man, what a player. Honestly, what a player. But I'll go Haaland and Laudrup. Ryan?
Laudrup's my favourite ever player, but I'm going to go with somebody because I just don't feel we've got a player like this just now as George Albert's. I think his assists are underrated. His shots outside the box, that's how I want to see the Rangers player at the moment. So I'll go George Albert's. And if I am going for a player anywhere in the world just now, nobody's mentioned him in the comments. Lewis Ferguson for me. Get him in.
Scored the other week, did he not, Ryan? Right.
He's doing well. Bellingham's a shout as well, but Gary said that. Bellingham is a shout. Yeah, he's a great player. Baz as well, plenty, absolutely plenty. So that'll do us for tonight. We've managed to get through everything, I think, which is really quite good. Thank you to everybody for the questions, for getting involved in this. We do love doing these kind of things. It's brilliant to get interaction with you. It really is great fun. For the donations to Justin, to Jim, and to Jimmy. Yeah, absolute crazy man that you are. I cannot thank you enough for the donations. That's superb. Same as Anonymous for buying us the coffees as well. Really do appreciate that. And most importantly, for all yous tuning in, for all yous getting involved in this. Ali, thank you very much for tonight, mate.
No, pleasure. I wondered where tonight would go and being a live show like this and kind of questions come in, but it was thoroughly enjoyable. The donations, absolutely outstanding. Jimmy Robot, what can I say about him? I'm resigning from this podcast and I am travelling the world with Jimmy and I'm going to carry his bags. So I will be in the comments from now on. But brilliant.
If you can be his couch, I'll be his footrest, mate. I'll just every time he needs to put his feet up.
You need to host the podcast, though, Karen. You can't come.
That's true.
We could do a travelling podcast.
We could do a travelling podcast. That'd be interesting. Scotia, thanks, mate.
Cheers. Always really enjoy doing these Q&A ones, particularly the ones that you've not had a kind of sight of pre-hand because it kind of throws you sometimes, but really enjoyed it. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, thanks very much, mate.
Cheers, boys. I really enjoyed that tonight. Just got a bit of a laugh, a bit more relaxed, and having to criticise and analyse the team. So really enjoyed that and interacting with the punters. And Jimmy Rosebottom is unbelievable. Please, Jimmy, just buy us a centre half and a striker in the summer.
Buy me a box at Ibrox, mate, whatever you want. Either or. No, I'm only kidding. I'm generally only kidding. Absolutely incredible. It is. It's mental support. It is bonkers. I'm kind of feared to tell the missus about it now because she'll be like, how much? But no, brilliant, as I say, absolutely superb. It looks like we're going to take a week off. We'll probably not be back till next Friday. There could be something coming out midweek. There's something I'm trying to arrange. It might not happen though, so it could be at a later date. I get that, but we'll probably take the week off and we'll be back. We'll be back next Friday with our usual club live as we look ahead to the Dundee United game on the Saturday. Is that correct? 3:00? Yes. Looking forward to getting back to that for sure. So until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you again for everybody for tuning in. Again, thank you. I know I'm repeating myself. Thank you so much for the donations. Absolutely bonkers. And all the questions. Generally loved it tonight. So before you go, please do subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. That would be absolutely smashing. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.